Willkommen, this is Julia.
And this is Shane. And this is Think Plant-Based. Think Plant-Based. Make sure to check out recipes, health tips, travel tips at www.thinkplantbased.com.
And we're officially on iTunes, so please rate and write us a review on iTunes.
Write us a review. Give us 2 stars, 3 stars, maybe 5 stars. Let us know.
For sure, 5.
Yeah, I mean, who would give us 2 stars anyways, right? But yeah, make sure to do that because that's how we get found.
What is food without cheese, right? That's what I hear all the time. Like,
what about vegan cheese?
Right, vegan cheese?
Even better.
Is there such thing? Yeah, right?
Is there such things? Well, luckily today...
We have Karen.
We have Karen from Blue Heron Vegan Cheeses on our podcast. Karen, how you doing?
I'm well today. How are you guys?
Good.
Oh, we're good. Yeah.
Great having you.
Thanks for having me on your podcast.
Of course.
Our pleasure, yeah, for sure. So tell the listeners a little bit more about what you do to make your delicious vegan cheeses and give it out to the masses.
Wow, that's so broad and open. Where do I even start? I guess I could start a little bit with how I got to what I'm doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I was the executive chef at a vegan restaurant called Gray's.
Oh, yeah.
We love that restaurant.
Yeah.
Did you guys ate there?
That's
I
awesome.
loved it.
Yeah.
I'm meeting so many people. When I was in the kitchen, I didn't meet the people who came very often.
I bet.
But my that's where my research started because I wanted to offer the antipasto, and I didn't like what was commercially available for vegan cheese alternatives.
Right.
So I started my R&D there, and I didn't really like the recipes I was finding online because they weren't very methodical, and they didn't explain why things worked or didn't work. So I began the process of looking at how dairy cheeses are made and how different dairy cheeses are made, and sort of trying to evaluate what variables I could shift to apply some of the methodology in a plant-based realm.
Right.
And so that's how I've arrived at the method we use here at Blue Heron, which is using microbes and plant-derived digestive enzymes to coagulate and break down different plant proteins to create acidity. And then that's what helps to create the texture and the flavors of the cheeses. So we might use herbs and stuff to sort of create flavor profiles,
right.
But we're not using nutritional yeast and other additives to create that cheese umami. We're using microbes and fermentation and culturing.
Cool, yeah.
Interesting.
So it takes a lot longer then to make the cheeses then.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
How long do they usually take?
It depends on the style of cheese. So we have a cheese we haven't released yet. It's called our Beechwood, and it takes, currently it's on month 15 right now.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's still curing. So it's not ready quite yet. One of my blue cheeses can take up to 3 months before we release it.
Oh, wow.
Our Mostarda cheddar, which, I'm supposed to say Mostarda cashew cheddar. Sorry, I'm making a snide comment about the Canadian Food Inspection Agency.
Right.
All respect to them. I understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
But our Mostarda cheddar takes up to 6 months to age before we release it.
So how do you keep up with the demand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess that's an art, right?
Right.
That's one of the biggest challenges. So we are currently seeking a much larger manufacturing facility,
right.
So that we can increase our aging space, so that then we can keep the inventory sort of moving.
Right.
So right now it means that in terms of the specialty cheeses, I only keep a very limited amount of those in aging process and release them small amounts. And then we have younger cheeses that we produce in higher volume for ongoing broader release.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what actually inspired you to open up an all plant-based cheese store?
It was an accident. So
right.
when Gray's closed and I moved on to another restaurant, the things that kept happening, I kept getting emails about the cheeses. I had already been approached by New Society publishers to write a book about plant-based cheese making.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was still doing R&D for the book. So I was producing cheeses for, R&D purposes, but it was accumulating a lot of them, and I wasn't going to eat that much cheese. And so I would post and talk about it, and then people started asking if they could get some. And so it started sort of that way. By December of 2015, I sort of made the decision that at some point I was going to coalesce this whole thing into something. And that's when Blue Heron, the name, I threw the name out. I chose it, threw it out into the world, I guess. And then I reconnected with Colin Medhurst, who's now one of my very best friends, but was one of my regular guests at Gray's. And now he's my business partner.
That's amazing. And how did you come up with the name Blue Heron?
I like herons. It's really,
majestic, right? Yeah.
They are, yeah.
It's really that simple. But I like to go to the beach or the shore when I need to clear my head, and I've always found myself very attracted to and finding myself watching herons. They're very intentional. They're very precise in their movements.
Right.
And despite all else going on, they maintain a very intense focus. And I find something about that very calming and reassuring.
It is.
Yeah,
I find the name so catchy, people know right away, what you're talking about, especially in the vegan community. Blue Heron, they know exactly. Yeah, it stands for the plant-based cheeses.
Because it's weird to come up with a name, and I didn't go through some marketing process. It was just that was the name. It was just that was it.
Nice, I love it.
There wasn't like 4 different iterations or anything like that.
Oh, I see. That's great.
Yeah. So what are a couple of your favorite cheeses, vegan cheeses that you love, that your go-tos? I'm sure there's many, but just a couple. It's sort of for me, it's always about the process, and because the cheese, when it's done with microbes, is like a living thing. So like some cheeses taste a little bit different in the winter and cooler months than they do in the summer months. Right.
But during the cooler months, the fig cheese we make with coconut milk-based cheese, called Fig Cumulus, is one of my favorites.
Oh,
it's
yum.
tangy but a little bit sweet. Mm-hmm. Myself, the blue cheese is hands down always one of my favorites because I like the pungency and the complexity of it.
Agree on that, but yeah,
you don't.
No.
I don't like the blue cheese.
I do. I don't like. Yeah.
It's an acquired taste.
And blue cheese is like cilantro. You either like it or you don't. There's no in between, right?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. I really like the smoky flavors. Like you have a smoky. One. I think I really like that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely one of our go-to popular ones that we routinely get high demand for. So we're always keeping that one in high production. So then I think you guys would like the Beechwood when we release it.
Yeah.
When we release it.
We want to try
because it's smoked and it's washed in a rye stout.
Wow.
Well, I hope to be able to release some in about a month or 2.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were lining up for your cheese before.
We didn't realize. Well, this is the story. We went because we're like, oh, this new Blue Heron's opening, so we went. And we didn't know that they're only open on Saturdays, but it happened to be a Saturday. Right. We're like, wow, there's quite a line here. I'm like, what's going on here? And we waited there for a while. But just out of coincidence on a Saturday, we didn't know the hours or anything. We just stopped by.
We we swing by. We swing by and then, and then we heard from another friend, have you been to that cheese place?
And it was the opening. I think it was even the opening.
Oh, God, you guys accidentally came to the opening. That's amazing.
We didn't know what time day it was open. Yeah.
Right.
So.
And now you guys are famous for the lineups. That's how other people talk to us. Oh, have you been to the lineup yet? And to order some cheese? We were blown away by that. When we opened, we didn't really anticipate that there would be such a big lineup like that.
Right.
And the lineup, we still get lineups. Christmas, we had a lot of long lineups, but they're not as impressive anymore. They don't run all the way to Broadway.
Oh, okay. Nice, but they're impressive enough
that other people get curious
They're
and they
still
want to
good.
say like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
I think I need to line up there.
Yeah, I think lineups just create their own pull, right? Like people just see things and they're like, oh. Yeah, exactly. That's the word.
Keep it that way. One day a week, and like everyone's like, "Well, what's going on? What's going on? We gotta go. We gotta check it out."
It's the same. And like, have you been to Metrotown?
Yes, I used to go to Metrotown, but I don't. It's too many people. I don't go.
Right, but there's this crazy place. I don't want to promote it right now, but it's like some sort of cheesecake place. But you can only order one item. If you want two, you have to line up again. And there's such a long lineup. Like, I've never seen it empty whenever I pass by.
You're only allowed one cheese, and if you want another cheese, you gotta line up again.
Well, we did at Christmas. We actually had to put a limit on how many pieces people could take. Yeah, because people were like arriving, and we were like, wait, it's not fair if the people are doing, they're waiting patiently their turn.
I agree.
And then, so we were like, look. We're gonna be open every weekend. You don't need to take 20 pieces with you right now.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
It's not the cheese apocalypse. Like it's not the end.
Nice. Well, like, what do you think? Like, how do great tasting vegan cheeses changes the world, in your opinion?
I think. I'm going to sort of answer that in a more a lower key kind of thing, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
Changing the world just feels so big.
But you do, it's so important for people, whenever I meet people that are not even like plant-based at all, they say, I mean, I could do vegetarian, but giving up cheese?
Yeah, I feel like cheese is the last missing block that we need to perfect.
That's 100%. That's usually what we get. I think... There's two parts to how I want to think about answering that. It's, I think just from a culinary perspective and as a chef, I think that the opportunity to explore new terrain and new method or applying traditional method to new mediums is really exciting just in an internal way. That's exciting. What I think that offers more broadly is an opportunity for people to maybe think about shifting their minds about things rather than just getting this stuck on an idea that something has to be the same thing all the time or the same way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So I think that itself, I think, is the biggest impact, but not the one that people, I think about in the most overt way. But I think when people have an opportunity to expand what they're thinking about in terms of food concept, it takes a bit of time, but I think you get more people interested in thinking about it that way, or it then becomes part of the new set of skills that people will start evolving as new culinary professionals and new food producers.
Right.
So it is a paradigm shift, but it's not, it's like more of a gradual progression, I think. Especially because right now in vegan cheesemaking, there isn't a set of ubiquitous standards or a single common approach to any of the methods that any of us commercial cheesemakers are doing.
Right.
So, like, you get 10 dairy cheesemakers in a room and you say camembert, they can all have a conversation with each other about what that means. But you can't do that in the vegan cheese realm yet. There isn't, oh yes, that's how you make a vegan cheddar. That isn't, that there isn't a set of standards around that. So I think we're in the middle of this sort of very, very exciting, very open-ended field right now where lots of different possibilities exist. And so I think that's exciting in itself.
Yeah, it is.
One small thing at a time, And, and if you see the supply and demand, if you see the line, more people are going to get more curious, and they're just going to just wait in the line.
Exactly.
They don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
That's how people are. They think like, oh, I'm missing out. I think I need to line up. I don't know what's about, but
I want to line up.
Yeah.
They follow in the herd.
That's a very strange psychology thing.
Yeah, right?
It's the herd in us. Like, we want to be around people. We want to be part of people. And so if it's something very exciting and new and everyone's doing it, then people tend to go that way.
Exactly. That's exactly. So
you got to make it the norm, right? We got to make vegan cheeses the norm, and then
I think that's. I mean, I think it's eventually going to happen in a certain way. This week, I'm meeting with a couple of other vegan cheesemakers for dinner to just have a chat about some ideas around approaches to regulatory bodies around the name, the use of the word cheese, and some ideas like that, because we don't have a community in a straightforward sense. So I communicate with a lot of other vegan cheesemakers via Instagram and social media. And so we're hoping to just maybe create a more specific dialogue, I guess, about methodology and approach.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah. So where do you see your cheese business going in the future? Like a big Miyoko's plant and selling out whatever left, right?
Well, you're expanding, right?
Obviously that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Colin and I are, this is the year we're really pursuing landing the next manufacturing site. So we're looking to find a 6,000 to 10,000 square foot facility.
Right.
We're also planning to maintain our approach and not change to do more mass volume type of cheeses. We're going to maintain the artisanal craft of it.
Right.
And we're looking to do distribution to Canada and the US. We have so much demand across the continent right now, and in Europe and as far away as Japan.
Nice.
I don't have a capacity in my head right now to think about all of that. But
I guess the bigger the facility you have, the more you can make, because it does take time, right? These are artisanal, so it does take time to it. So the more bulk you can make, the better, I think.
Exactly.
Right?
So before we start, I just want to be concerned about getting the logistics of that kind of scaling up sorted.
It's a lot to think, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's complex.
A lot of planning, and you start off small and then you just blow up. That's how it works.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
In the vegan cheese world.
Totally.
Blow up.
There's such a big demand, though, when it comes, I think even higher demand than meat, even, like meat alternatives, like cheese is really the one, because I hear so many times, vegan cheeses, I didn't really have any good ones so far. And then I'm like mentioning all these other ones, that out there, and they say like, oh, I haven't tried it yet, so there's a great niche out there for vegan cheeses.
I think the meat alternatives has had a lot broader acceptance more quickly than the vegan cheese alternatives market has.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think cheese is a harder thing to make than meat alternative is.
Right.
And I think that's a harder, it's like more technically difficult to do. So I think it's not surprising that there's been more skepticism from broader base around whether or not it's good or can be good or things like that.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Makes sense. And I think one's more of a texture and the other one's more of a taste. So it's hard to sometimes recreate a taste.
You have to have both, right?
You have to have,
I guess, both. The texture and the taste, because some people would say like, vegan cheese tastes like plastic, rubbery or whatever, right?
Some of them do. That's the thing. Some of those critiques are not incorrect, right?
Right. So that's a tricky one. Well, there's an art and science behind making cheese, that's how it is, right? But they're out there, like your cheeses, right? People love it, and I hear people talking all the time about cheeses.
That's the word going around. Blue heron. Gotta get me some of that blue heron.
Exactly.
Well, we didn't even use a marketing agency to do that.
That's crazy.
I think it sold itself, really.
It did.
It's your name, and I think a lot of people knew you from Gray's as the cheesemaker.
Right,
so.
Yeah,
I had I feel fortunate in the sense that we had a pretty solid core following just getting going, which I think is a lot different than some producers just entering a market brand new. I think that made a difference for sure for us.
Yeah,
definitely.
And great location too.
Yeah, it is.
Location in the city
too.
makes a big difference.
That was born out of serendipity. We were meeting with fellow food producers around the idea of perhaps finding a joint space as a commissary. And one of the people attending messaged us and just said, "Hey, I think I might have a short-term solution for you guys."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Great.
So we got very fortunate.
That's great. So where can the listeners find you, and where's your products available?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll be at our storefront here at 2410 Main Street. I have to think about our address. 2410 Main Street. We're open Saturdays and Sundays now.
Oh, okay. Great to know.
Sunday's just a 12 to 3 kind of shift.
Okay.
And we sell with our friends at the Juice Truck at all of their locations, at Farm to Table grocery store in Yaletown, at Blue House Market Cafe in Deep Cove, at Spent Grounds in South Surrey, and I'm certain I'm missing a couple other places. We're also on several menus, other restaurant menus in town right now.
Oh,
Wow.
great. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's revolutionary. That's so amazing. Even like non-vegan places, or are they like?
Yeah, well, we're on menu at Field and Social. They're not vegan. We're on menu at the Persephone Snug. That it's right beside Save on Meats, and it's a little beer tasting room with an all-vegan menu.
Cool.
We're on menu at the Charlatan on Commercial Drive. They have a really well-developed.
Really?
Yeah, they have.
Charlatan. That's where me and Julia actually met.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So we have to go and try the vegan cheeses there now.
Jesse Sugarman has been really, really driving changes in terms of making sure they have a solid vegan plant-based menu option set there.
Great.
And so we do have cheeses with them on menu there. We're just setting up to have cheeses. We are at Northyard Cidery in Squamish. And we're going to be soon on menu at Odd Society Spirits as well.
Oh, wow.
So much going on. That's amazing.
Can't wait.
Well, next time we want to have you on our podcast talking about your new location.
Yeah, your new factory.
Yes,
and talking about the soil too. Right?
Oh, yeah, and talking about your next venture in soil.
Oh, yes, the restaurant we just opened.
The restaurant as well.
Yeah, we
we'll
still have
you
to
on
come
there
and
talk
visit.
about that.
Yeah. That's great.
And if you guys come in for dinner, just let us know, and we'll happy to set you up.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Great. Yeah, we can't wait. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time, and I wish you a wonderful time in the kitchen, and keep on inspiring all the people.
Keep on aging that delicious vegan cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on the show today, you guys.
Our pleasure.
It's been great.
Have a great day.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you too.
Bye.
All right, ciao.
Bye.